Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Mona. I'm one of the certified fitness professionals here at GOFitnessVirtual.com. Today we're going to take a closer look at how to perform Crocodile Pose, also known as Chaturanga for you yogis. So it's a very challenging pose, and I highly recommend that you start it on your knees. So if you're willing to come down to the floor with me, let's go ahead and head down towards the floor. Crocodile pose is normally part of our sun salutation, and it's part of the sun salutation where we can really start to damage our shoulder if we don't perform it properly. So I think it's important to dissect it into just that crocodile pose so we make sure that we have it correctly. So we're going to go ahead and start by taking our hands shoulder distance apart and spreading our fingers wide. We want to push our fingertips into the floor, and we're going to start on our knees to make it just a little less challenging. So be sure to lift your belly button up toward your spine and drop your hips down so your back is long and strong. So the first thing that we do in Crocodile Pose is we round up through the upper back, so we're coming into a little bit of shoulder protraction, and then we pull our shoulder blades down away from our ears so we come into scapular depression. That's going to help to stabilize our shoulder joint. And then the first thing we do to start Crocodile after we set up that shoulder stability is we shift our weight forward so that our shoulders are in front of our wrist. And then we go ahead and bend our elbows, lower the body down, and rise back up. That's Crocodile. So the common errors that I see are people do not shift their weight far enough forward. So when they're back here, they're dropping their shoulders over the wrist instead of having the elbows over the wrist. That's going to put the shoulder in potential harm. Also, people tend to flare their elbows out wide, losing the alignment of the shoulder when they're moving down. Now, we don't want to have our elbows in too narrow because then we're supporting our torso on our arms and we don't have to have any core engagement. So we want to have our hands shoulder width apart. Our elbows should be facing straight back to the wall behind us. Lift up, slide shoulder blades down, tip forward and lower. So another common error is people will lose the connection with their abdominals. So rather than engaging the core and lifting the belly up towards their spine, they allow the belly to sag down towards the floor. That puts a lot of pressure onto our lower back and is an incorrect movement. So we want to keep the belly lifted, shoulders forward, lower down, elbows straight to the back wall, belly is braced, and rise right back up. Another common error is participants will start to drop their shoulders down lower than their hips. That puts a lot of pressure onto that shoulder joint, and it shows me that they've lost their scapular depression. So we want to round through the shoulders into shoulder protraction, pull the shoulders away from the ears into scapular depression, and then lower down. So the shoulders do not come down lower than your hips. Finally, if you feel like you're strong enough and you can perform the movement on your knees well, you have the option of coming off your knees to your toes. So if you're on your feet and your hands, you want to squeeze your thighs so you're using the lower half muscles. Still shift your weight forward, bend your elbows and lower down, and then push back up. Thank you so much for joining me for today's session on Crocodile Pose. If you liked the information, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And if you want to see more from us, go visit us at GOFitnessVirtual.com.